on the bench LFC. In today's video I'm going to be talking about Liverpool versus Huddersfield. Will we see change? And basically I'm going to be talking about the key points going into the game on the weekend. The time that kickoff is 3 PM. Obviously it's on Saturday. And yeah, I just wanted to get some of your guys' views going into this match. Obviously we're well aware that at the moment Liverpool in not the best run of form, if we're going to put it lightly. But on the other hand, you know, like there's some key areas that we could look at going into this game if we're going to see change from Jurgen Klopp and how Liverpool are playing on the whole. Welcome to the stream, Gavin, mate. He says, hey guys, good to have you on board. I want to do a quick shout out as well for Gavin, lads. He's for all you guys that know Gavin before on the channel, he's got an operation coming up very soon, and there's good news going on with that at the moment. He informed me yesterday, so yeah, massive shout out to you, mate. I wish you all the best. And yeah, if all you guys want the details that are interested, then make sure to message Gavin, and I'm sure he'll tell you on that one. So anyway, quickly, let me just do my spiel as well, guys. Can we get a thumbs up on the video? If you're a subscriber already to the channel, massive thank you. You're all top geezers. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel already, what this channel brings to you is daily content. I release daily videos. We do live streams constantly throughout the week, where we mainly talk about all the news and updates around the Liverpool Football Club. So if that's something that interests you, make sure to hit that subscribe button now. And yeah, so let's get talking about it anyway, guys. I hope that you're all having a wicked day today. And it's a big game, isn't it, really, guys? Even though if you look at it on paper, Liverpool versus Huddersfield isn't really one of them stereotypical games where it's meant to be a big game. And it's not meant to be the sort of game either in a season where Liverpool, I don't know, where people are going to be really picking at Liverpool. You know, normally when we play Man City, Chelsea, the top four clubs in the title race and that, they're the sort of games that people are saying they're big games. But because of the recent run of form from Liverpool and then the result on the weekend, good morning, Nick, welcome to the stream, mate. Yeah, because of the recent run of form from Liverpool and then getting a bit of a spanking off Spurs, if you want to put it that way, this game is going to tell us a lot, guys, and that's why I wanted to do this video, and I wanted to do it today. I know, obviously, the game's not until Saturday, but we've got a few days to really talk about some of these key points, you know. And for me, I think going into this one, from what I can see from the media over the last couple of days, especially last night and then this morning, I think the hot topics are going to be Lovren. People are all talking about whether Lovren's going to start in this game, who the goalkeeper will be for this game, because obviously, let's face it, Mignolet had a shocker, didn't he, in the last game. So people are all calling for different goalkeepers to come in. But if I start with the Lovren one and the Lovren debate, and it's basically, for me, you all know my views anyway. If you've been part of this channel for a while now, you know that I think that Lovren's not good enough to play for Liverpool Football Club. It's not that he's not good enough to play for the football club, but the way I look at it is he shouldn't be a starting 11 player. I would quite happily have him as a backup. And I do think that before Lovren come to Liverpool Football Club, good morning, Stuart, mate, welcome to the stream. I do feel that before Lovren come to Liverpool, he was one of the best defenders in the league, you know, and I think that if he did go back to a club like that, he would suit a different setup. I think what it is at Liverpool, and there's been a lot made of, is Klopp ruining the defending players in the team because of his tactics. If you put it this way, that the high line at Liverpool play, and how the left and right backs push right up the pitch, it does leave the centre backs exposed, which is something that I highlighted in my video yesterday, and why I believe that we need either two holding midfielders at the moment to get us to January, or come January we need to be looking at getting in a specialist holding midfielder. But obviously going into this game against Huddersfield, we don't have them options. So what people are saying is, there's two different views basically, guys. There's one view that if Klopp doesn't play Lovren on the weekend against Huddersfield, then he's destroyed him. He's destroyed his career. He's destroyed his career at Liverpool. I think that's an over-exaggeration, right? If Klopp doesn't play him against Huddersfield, that hasn't destroyed his career at all, you know? Like, Lovren could easily go on and play for another team after Liverpool and get in a team. Also, Lovren could be a backup in the Liverpool squad if we did bring in a new centre-back, which we need in January. Then, welcome to the stream, Chris, mate. Good morning. Yeah, Lovren could easily go on to do better things, but with his performances of late, I did say in my video yesterday that if you're not playing well, then you need to be took out of the team. And also, being a professional football player, you're often in the highlights, you're in the media and that. If you have a bad game, then it's going to be wrote about. People are going to talk about it. Also, on the other hand, if you have a quality game, then you will be talked about in a good light, you know. And we have seen times when Lovren has been spoken about in a good light, and Lovren has had good games. So I do feel sorry for players when they get death threats and that, because obviously you know, it can't be nice for a man like getting death threats and that when, you know, it's a little bit shallow being that it's football. But on the other hand, the fact that you're playing for a team that the fans are so passionate about, of course, if you're letting in goals and costing us points, you're going to be criticised. So going into this one, for me personally, Lovren needs to be dropped from the team. You know, and this is, I was talking very much about, after the Maribor game, does James Milner start against Spurs? Which he did, but it looked like it was a case of Wijnaldum was injured, so that's why Milner come in. But it's that scenario, but flipped on its head, if you know what I mean. Like, for me personally, like I said, Milner had a good game, so he deserves to start the next game. But then if you look at it in that sense, then if a player has a bad game, then he shouldn't play in the next game, you know. He should be dropped. Now, if you look at it against Spurs, hardly any of our players had a good game, so there's not all of, we can't drop all of the players because that doesn't make sense. But what we could do is change some personnel to see how it goes. And for me, going into the game against Huddersfield, I definitely feel that the back line, I wanted to do my starting 11 anyway, but if I just start with, I think that Danny Ward should be given a chance. I'll talk about the goalkeeper situation in a minute as well, but for me, Danny Ward comes in for this one. He needs to be given game time and just see how he goes. I want to see him get given a couple of games, see if he does any worse than what the other goalkeepers are, which I don't think he would, guys. I think he's a very good goalkeeper and he deserves some game time. And then at right back, I'd bring in Trent Alexander-Arnold because Gomes seems to feature at right back over Trent in the Premier League. But the reason Trent starts at right back for me is because I want to see Gomes paired with Joel Matip at centre-back. I don't think Gomes is going to do any worse than Lovren or Claveren in that situation. What Gomes does bring you is pace at centre-back, which I said with Liverpool's high line, when it comes to January, if we don't get Virgil, then what we do need is a centre-back that has pace. Someone that can get back when we're playing with a high line to cover Joel Matip. Because Joel Matip's not the slowest defender, but he's also not the quickest, you know. And we could do with someone that can get back. Now, Gomes will give you that. We've all seen that. Playing at right back, he can match a lot of the fast wingers out there. So I definitely do think that playing Gomes there would be a good shout. It is a lot of pressure to put on Gomes because of his age. But on the other hand, it does give him key game time. He naturally is a centre-back, even though at Liverpool we saw him feature under Brendan Rodgers as a left-back. Now he's played under Klopp as a right-back, but predominantly was a centre-back. So it is key to see him play as centre-back to see how he does, you know. So I definitely want to see him paired with Joel Matip at centre-back. And then at left-back, I want to see Robertson. And I know a lot of you guys from previous comments on my other video have said exactly the same. You know, Robertson spoke about this himself, saying that Moreno, his run of form has kept Robertson out of the team because Klopp sees a left-back situation, or left-back position, sorry, as a specialist position. Now, often if you don't play in a starting 11, then you might not even feature as a substitute. You might not even travel with the team. So for me, Robertson needs to come in for this one. He's not going to do any worse than Moreno for me. His end product is better than Moreno, even though there's been a lot of talk about Moreno's quality going forwards. I do think what we've seen from Robertson so far is his end product is bang on. So I think the key area for this game is to see a different backline, isn't it, guys? I want to see a goalkeeper that commands the area. Mignolet in the last game against Spurs rushed out against Harry Kane, for instance. That wasn't commanding the area. He exposed himself, the goal and the defenders in that scenario. Yes, the defenders and the holding midfielder and the rest of the team should have done better up until that point. But on the other hand, in that area, Mignolet really did mess up, didn't he? So, yeah, I do want to see a change in the goalkeeper. Karius, there is a shout because he's a Champions League goalkeeper, and also, for me, he was fantastic in the Bundesliga and he was very highly sought after, and I personally don't think he's actually had enough game time at Liverpool to really prove himself. But on the other hand, why not give Ward a chance as well? Considering Klopp kept 3 good goalkeepers, his words, then obviously Danny Ward should feature in some game times. Now, if you look at it going up to Christmas, there's not going to be many chances for Ward to come in the cup games or whatever. So this could be a really good starting point for Ward to prove to Klopp, to Liverpool and to us guys, which I think we're all on the same wavelength, that he's got what it takes to play for Liverpool at the moment, considering the other goalkeepers in our ranks. So that's my back line with that one, guys. But like I say, the key area for it is a lot of people are discussing the fact that Klopp has threw Lovren under the bus, and they're saying that if he doesn't play Lovren about his career being over, but on the other hand, why should Klopp play Lovren when he's been playing so bad and he's been letting Klopp down, you know? Because there's a lot of talk about Klopp has worked on the tactics, and a lot of people saying, oh yeah, Klopp's tactics are wrong. I, for one, think he got the tactics wrong against Spurs. But on the other hand, if the players don't do what Klopp's working on in training, then of course, that's not the manager's fault. That's the players. That comes down on the players and on the players only with that one. And it does come down to whether it's the right personnel for them tactics as well. So, yeah, for me, like I say, take criticism when you're playing bad, guys. I don't want to see Lovren start this one. I want to see Robertson come into the fold at left back, and I want to see Gomes paired with Matip. Put Trent in at right back. He's a quality player, gives him game time as well. I want to know what your views are on that in the comments, guys. As always, if you're watching this back and you've missed the live stream, but you are watching it back afterwards, leave your comments in the comment section, guys. You probably know as well by now that I do reply to nearly every single comment that I get. I do get a lot, and I do try my hardest to read them all and to reply. So yeah, make sure to do that, guys. Leave a thumbs up on the video as well if you're watching it back. It does mean a lot, guys. I really do appreciate all your support. Now we're going to talk about the midfield area. Obviously, going into Huddersfield, if we talk about, obviously, we were just saying about the defensive side of the game, and then I did state in my last video that I would like to see us play with two holding midfielders at the moment. It's very key that going up till January, if we haven't got the right personnel to play our defensive side of the game, then what we do need to do is make sure we shut up shop, you know. Now, if you look at Huddersfield, they had a good result against Man United, which will give them some confidence, you know. But before that, Huddersfield wasn't playing amazing. They're not a team that scores a lot of goals. So it is difficult because at Anfield, I don't personally want to see Liverpool sit defensively. So maybe playing two holding midfielders in this one doesn't seem like a logical answer. But on the other hand, going into other fixtures coming up, then I would like to see two holding midfielders. I want to see Emre Can starting that holding midfield role for this one, guys. I want to see him sit as the pivotal man that splits the two centre-backs and just see how he does. I mean, he was doing good when he was being played as a holding midfielder. Yes, that does mean that Henderson's going to drop out but I don't think that Klopp will drop Henderson. But for me, I would like to see, because he had a shocker against Spurs, it's another one like Lovren and that. Yes, he's captain and that, but if you do have a bad game, just because you're captain doesn't mean that you can't be pulled out of the team, you know. So it's only on the pure fact of my other selection as well as why Henderson drops out. But I want to see Emre Can as the holder. I want to see Coutinho dropped back into midfield, guys, because he, in a game against a team like Huddersfield, creativity in midfield is key because we really need to open them up. Especially at the moment, we saw that we scored a lot of goals against Maribor, but what we haven't seen around that game is goals. It hasn't been flowing recently. So putting Coutinho into that midfield does definitely mean that it opens up space and creates space for that front three. And I am going to go with a front three, which I'll talk about in a minute. But the other midfielder, guys, if Wijnaldum's back fit, then I'd like to see Wijnaldum in there. I do think that we missed Wijnaldum against Spurs. A lot of people say that he's not good enough to play for Liverpool Football Club and that he needs to be replaced. Wijnaldum may be the one as well that drops out the team when Lallana comes in, because we all know that we've missed Lallana. But for me, what Wijnaldum does really go under the radar. It is very true that he's one of them sort of players that he does everything in that midfield. He's not a world beater there, but what he does give you is he tracks back. He's good at moving the ball on. He's good at keeping the pace in the attack. He just all round, I think Wijnaldum does impress me when he plays. And he's had some fantastic games and he's had some games where he hasn't really done too much. But I definitely feel that not having a player of Wijnaldum's sort in midfield did hurt Liverpool against Spurs. So that's my three going into Huddersfield. And then if you look at the front three, then I definitely think Mo Salah's a starter, isn't he, at the moment, guys? Let's face it, on that right, Salah's got a start every time. And then as well, it's one of them things where up top, Firmino didn't have a great game against Spurs. He hasn't looked in his best form recently. Like, with the dip of form that Liverpool have had, I think there's certain players in the team that have had a dip in form as well. And Firmino's one of them players, guys. Like, and is it pressure at the moment because he's not an out-and-out striker and people are talking about that a lot? Is it because of the switch of tactics, you know? I definitely do think that Klopp has been working on new tactics this season and that has hurt Liverpool in certain areas. And to be honest with you, one of them areas has got to be the finishing areas, like the clinicalness. We did notice that when Klopp first come into the team, he said that often we overplayed things or that we tried to take a shot on goal when if there was one more pass in that like move, if you know what I mean, then it could have been a certain goal. So he worked on that and got us playing that way, and we was scoring a lot of goals, whereas now that has changed and we've got the same personnel and we've only added to that. So it's got to be a tactics thing there for me. So I definitely think, like I say, Salah comes into it at right, and then up top, do you play Firmino? Let me know what you guys think on it. Would you play Firmino in this one up top? Or would you give Daniel Sturridge a start? I personally would like to see Solanke come in and have a game up top. You know, like, I do think that Solanke needs to get some game time. He's still young. But when you're playing a team like Huddersfield, having a big, strong striker, that also, he does fit Klopp's pressing style. He does work hard up top, which, playing Sturridge, you don't have that full-on press from Sturridge. Firmino gives you the press, but isn't finishing. So there is arguments for all three to start that game. So I'm a little bit torn on that one. But if I was to say who I think starts that one under Klopp's eyes, then it's got to be Firmino. But let me know what you guys think on it anyway. I'd like to know where your guys' heads are with the striking position. And then on left wing, because Coutinho's been dropped to midfield, for me, I want to see Chamberlain start. Obviously, we're without Mane at the moment due to his injury, so it is key that Ox gets some more game time. I have been impressed in a couple of his performances so far, which, considering he is bedding in, he is learning, and he's still learning the tactics, his players around him, you know, so it is difficult for him to come in and have a real effect on a team. But against Spurs, if you guys saw my show afterwards, I was talking about there was only two players that I could kind of give a positive spin on, and that was Salah because he scored a goal. And then Chamberlain in the second half looked like he was trying to create something but couldn't do it all on his own. So for me, I think he has earned a start in this one. You know, Nick's just said he would drop Firmino, so that's interesting, mate. Yeah, for me, I definitely think that I want to see Ox come on and play on that left wing. Klopp spoke a lot recently about Ox is a winger and not a midfielder. He's well aware that Ox wants to play in midfield, but he hasn't trained as a midfielder for Liverpool. He needs to learn that role before he plays there. So definitely putting Coutinho into midfield, but giving Ox game time on that left wing. I think that that's going to be key for giving Chamberlain some game time at the moment. With Mane being out injured and Lallana's not in the team because of his injury, why not put Chamberlain on that left wing, you know? I think he could do a job for us, and it's a good game to try and get himself a goal as well in the Premier League for Liverpool. Huddersfield, like I say, they did have a good result, but they're not like one of the top teams, and Liverpool do need to really pull a good performance out in this one. But obviously as well, guys, even if Liverpool do beat Huddersfield, it's still going to be that typical, yeah, well, look, we spanked Maribor and then we go and lose to Spurs. So it's one of them things that even if we do have a good result against Huddersfield, we've still got to kick on and we want to see some consistency. So yeah, if I'm going to give you my score prediction, I'm going to say that it's going to be 3-0 because Huddersfield aren't the most free-flowing scoring team. And I think that we will see a different backline from Liverpool, which I personally think can't do any worse than what they have been doing. So I'm going to say that we are going to shut up shop a little bit in this one, guys. And I'm hoping to see a few goals in this one from Liverpool. I think Salah, for me, will probably get a goal and will probably be the first goal scorer. Coutinho being in midfield is going to give you the creativity. Then I do think that Chamberlain should get a goal in this if he does start. I can't see why he can't, guys. And then one of the strikers, if it is Firmino, he's searching for goals at the moment. If it is Sturridge, Sturridge really needs to get goals, so he's going to want to play all out. And Solanke's a young prospect that is really going to want to get on a score sheet. So, for me, Liverpool could and should score a few goals in this game. And why not shut out Huddersfield? Too many times we've done predictions. Yo, Jordan, welcome to the stream, mate. Too many times I've done score predictions where I've given it that it's not a clean sheet. It's like 2-1, 3-1 to Liverpool. Because we're well aware of our defensive problems. But I really do think that going into this game, it's key that Liverpool try and keep a clean sheet. So, yeah, Jordan says should start Sturridge up top. Thank you for your views, mate. Yeah, I know it's going to be split amongst all the supporters and especially all you subscribers on the channel of who you'd like to see start up top. It is a key area going into this one. And like I say, I do want to get your guys' views on it. So make sure, even if you're watching this back afterwards, to leave that in the comment section, you know. So Jordan says he likes him. Yeah, a lot of people do like Sturridge, mate. I personally do like Daniel Sturridge. But I think because of the lack of game time, we're not seeing that clinical Daniel Sturridge that we need. I have done a video on that separately. So if you haven't seen that, anyone that wants to go and watch a video like that, then make sure to check it out on my channel. And that's my views on him. But yeah, guys, I do want to know what your views are going on into this. Do you think that we will see a change up? And if so, what kind of a change up would you like to see? You know, personnel, who would you like to see come in, go out? I mean, I want to do a big shout out for Liverpool's under 23s as well at the moment. They're performing really well. And as all of you guys that are probably aware that do follow the youth squads as well, they had a really good result against Man United. They scored 3-1. And a shout as well that's being talked about a lot, and this is why I wanted to bring this up, is Grujic had a really good game, considering he come back from, apparently he was poorly, and he come back into this one and did really well. He absolutely dictated the play. We did see him come on against Spurs towards the end. My views on Grujic is, from what I saw at the beginning, he's quality going forwards. He's got a good game and he's got a big future ahead. But defensively, he lunges in too much. Now, from what I have heard, he has worked on that and he does look better with the defending side of his game as well. So I do definitely feel that, for me, there are some youth players that could get a look in at the moment, up until January. So that's my views and my preview going into Huddersfield, guys. Like I say, I do want to get your opinions on it. Also, remember, guys, Friday I am doing a Halloween special where me and a group of my friends and family and that, we're all going to this village called Pluckley. If you haven't heard of it, type in Pluckley Village, Pluckley Woods, and you'll see that it's one of the most haunted places in Kent, which is from where I'm from. So yeah, if that's something that interests you guys, make sure to tune in on Friday for that one, because hopefully I can do a live stream from Pluckley. And yeah, we of course it's going to be Liverpool related, but there will be a spin on it for Halloween. So yeah, if I can't do a live stream due to it's in a rural area, you know, then the game is on Saturday at 3 o'clock, Jordan, mate. Yeah, if I can't do a live stream due to like signal and stuff, because I'll be in woods and things like that, then I will definitely be taking some videos and I'll edit it and I'll get it up on the channel Friday evening. So be sure to stick around for that, guys. If you haven't subscribed to the channel but you like Liverpool content, then make sure to hit that subscribe button now, guys. Remember, leave a thumbs up on the video for me. You're all top geezers and I hope that you all have a wicked rest of your day. Take care, lads.